Hi everyone, welcome to the Inner Reset talk show. My name is Semal. This is a talk show about bold choices, deep learnings, and charting your own unique course through life.
I was so free-minded, like no people influencing my thoughts. And I was like, I can learn this piece in a month. This was my intuitive thinking. It was Bohemian Rhapsody fingerstyle guitar. So I just started and I memorized the song and I learned it in a span of a month. That's where, I think homeschooling really shined.
Anish has been building businesses since he was 6 years old, with his first business scaling at just 13 years of age. By the age of 15, his digital products had been sold to 70 countries with 350,000 plus downloads. What's really amazing about Anish is that he's been really vocal about some difficulties he had with pure OCD, and also talked about how this stemmed from something which we all face today, which is connecting our self-worth with our outer success. Welcome, Anish. So I wanted to know, how did homeschool become an option for you, and how did that whole process play out?
I was always a weird child. I could not really study too well. And I sort of went towards sports at a young age, right? At around 10, I won the junior championships here in tennis. And that sort of, set me on a different path. I knew what I wanted to do at a young age, just to be a pro tennis player, which I'm not doing right now. But still, I had that little bit of a goal, and it was very much me. It was me. I wanted to be a tennis player. I trained, so that gave a little bit of I guess leeway for my parents to be like, okay, he wants to do tennis, and while everyone else is sort of training and putting 6 hours of training a day, I would put maybe 4 hours, and then I had to go to school, and then I had to it's you have two lives to balance. And then the homeschooling avenue came about, and that's when I sort of transitioned into homeschooling.
You talk a lot about, having that opportunity where you were allowed to just be completely free and explore the world of the guitar, or even, gaming and stuff like that, that it really helped you build your curiosity. So can you tell a little bit more about that?
That's where, I think homeschooling really shined. I think that, the additional time I had was the biggest thing that, allowed me to be where I'm at today. So I had a free mind. I didn't have other, because of this solitude thing, I didn't have all these other kids being like, this is our limitation as kids. This is our limitations. And then I didn't have the opportunity to go talk to a professor. I was very I couldn't be bothered. And then I didn't have the opportunity to talk to other kids about my ideas or anything like that. So I was fully free to set my own boundaries, really. And when I was homeschooling. So then I picked up the guitar, I was I was so, free-minded, no, no people influencing my thoughts. And I was like, I can learn this piece in a month. This was my intuitive thinking. It was Bohemian Rhapsody fingerstyle guitar, which is I remember I had one lesson in the US when previous to France, and I started homeschooling, and he said, no, you can't do that. You need theory, you need these things before you can even think about this. And I was like, I want to try this. Nothing. So I just started, and I memorized the song, and I learned it in a span of a month. And it was a professional fingerstyle piece that it's got millions of views on YouTube. And basically what I searched was best guitarist, and I picked the top one, and I learned that song. So that was a little bit of that mindset. If I had another person next to me who had gone through the guitar journey, said it took him 3 years, and you need to make sure you're doing this, it's I would have probably been, knowing me, I wouldn't have been discouraged, but I would have probably been I would have probably have rebelled it, and, different story. But yeah, that social limitation wasn't there. So then the other thing that I picked up on was getting into animation, right? So no thinking. Once again, just dove straight in. I had the time. I could and I could just be intuitive, right, without having to second guess every decision because I have homework or whatever it is. I can just have that free mind. So I dove into 3D animation during that time as well. And it was basically that same thought process. I'm like, I have all these stories in my head. What can I do with it? Can I bring it into life? Even when I compose songs, it was just me composing to visuals in my head that was popping up. And then if I asked anyone at the time, they said, you need to go get a degree, a film animation degree, go to university. And instead of that, I just dove straight head first into it and started making my first animation within like 3 weeks or so. When you would need to go through maybe a year of school before you can get into those things.
And what is the role your parents played? Like, it sounds like they just gave you a free hand to do, or just tell me in your words, how do your parents support or not support that process? Yeah.
So my parents are very hands-off. I think my dad is in business and quite busy, so I took a lot of his mindset into the way I work. But otherwise, in terms of freedom, they gave my freedom. They didn't really judge. They didn't say anything about my skills as well. They didn't make me feel like I had something to prove or anything like that. Very supportive. I think the only thing I asked from them at one point was to help me set up a PayPal. And they were like, no, money can get stolen, like not very techie. But they set it up, and then they started seeing the money coming through, and they're like, wait, where is this coming through? And then they're getting paranoid. But the role they played, very facilitation, trying their best to create a safe space for me. And just being like, just navigating, is this coach good for you? Is this coach not good for you? Even when I failed the 2 years of school, I mean, they were just mostly mad about the fact that I might not be having the opportunity to get into college. And I could ruin a part of my life that could be built. Then I think that was really the only thing that concerned them. But once the business started sort of picking up, they knew that I was different, and they sort of embraced that part of me. So that was very important. If I had those bottlenecks, I mean, I'll tell one story actually. They used to take my computer at night, my mom mostly, and she would come in and remind, Anish, you're still up, you need to sleep. And it was all because of my tennis career, and she'll take it. Right. And she would know what I'm doing. Right. But that was all in support. And then when I started, creating and making animations and making money and all these different things started sort of shifting around after to understand. Yeah.
The experience of inner transformation is not the same for everyone, but the impact it has will be with you for the rest of your life, metamorphosing you into a truer, more authentic version of yourself. The Inner Reset is brought to you by HomeTree Coworking, a co-working space I co-founded. HomeTree is Sri Lanka's first co-working space dedicated to mindfulness at work. At HomeTree, we aim to reinvent the way we work in the post-pandemic world by focusing on consciousness, community, and co-creation in the new normal. We're trying out a range of ways to bring mindfulness into how we work. One of them is through online deep work sprints, where we combine mindfulness techniques with productivity science to help us get better at what we do and to help us do our best work. More importantly, HomeTree is an ever-growing community of creatives, entrepreneurs, and change makers who support each other in co-creating their wildest dreams. At HomeTree, we take pride in aspiring towards a new world of work, where your inner being directs what you do in the outer world. To find out about our latest programs, you can go to our Instagram page.